John Elmore. Just in the coach of Spark Class Garbujo, Cornelia Jackson, your head coach, Denny Dan Tony. Let's give it up for your Thundering Herd. One too many. Give the ball to the Herd. Give him three. Dean Penola.
With the basketball and bouncer over to Chris Thomas. Thomas down on the baseline, Jared Sam. And Sam will be called for the travel. Sam's a really good player, and he had a good game against Illinois in that season opener.
Yes, real strong inside, able to step out with the second traveling call in the first minute of the game against the Jaguars.
And Marsh will play Illinois in just a matter of days. And C.J. Burks from the outside knocks down the shot. Burks had 23 in the victory over UT Martin. So Marshall with a couple of threes to get it going here. What a comeback the other night, Coach, by the Thundering Herd.
Oh, big comeback, down 46-31 at the half. The shots started falling, and to start this game off with 2 threes in the first minute and 30 seconds, that's a good sign for the Herd.
Adim Penova on the move, and Penova.
Foul's called on number 21, Patrick Smith, his first, and the team's first. That's by Jared Sam. Foul's called number 50, Willem Milovich, his first, and the team's first. Sam on the line for the ball.
Good plays, got some baskets.
Late violation. Chris Thomas has first, teams second. On the line, John Elmore. He'll shoot 2. C.J. Burks.
Penova bouncing to Miovic. Miovic to West. Jared West drives with the left hand.
Jared West.
Jared West, good strong move, great finish at the basket. The Herd has a 10-point lead early.
Out front with it, Eddie Reese out of Detroit. Boy, a long way from Detroit to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but you go where you get an opportunity to play the game you love, and nice little fadeaway there by Jared Sam.
Jared Sam's already showing he can step out and hit the jump shot. He went strong to the basket and drew a foul. Solid all-conference preseason player.
Has all 5 of the points, and C.J. Burks is feeling it, Coach.
Well, that's 3 threes for C.J. I believe they better find C.J. Burks.
All right, Marshall with an 11-point advantage here early on as the timeout takes place here at the Cam Henderson Center. Antonio Petty, Roger Ayers, and Trey Steins are our officials for tonight's game. Well, thoughts on last night's game or Friday night's game over into Monday? What made that weekend really pleasurable for the Herd?
Oh, it did. To win in the fashion that they won, giving up the 3 right before overtime. Coach D'Antoni remained calm, and for Marshall to come out and score the first 9 points in overtime and seal the victory. Great win for the Herd.
Yeah, only 2 threes in the first half against UT Martin. A little different now.
Oh, yeah. Marshall's come out on fire tonight.
C.J. Burks with 3 3-pointers. Ideen Penova got the game started just as he did the other night with a 3-pointer. And then he didn't get another one until late in the game. He was 2 for 2 from 3-point line the other night.
And the 3 he hit was from the exact same spot as the 3 he hit the first game.
Well, we got Monday night football as always, but we got Monday night basketball here at the Cam Henderson Center, and folks here to enjoy this game. Great brand of basketball Dan D'Antoni offers up here at his alma mater.
I think it's a great crowd for a Monday night game. Had a really good crowd Friday night. The people in Huntington and this area of West Virginia are sure supporting the Marshall Thunder and Herd basketball team.
All right, so Southern will have the basketball. Out of the Scotlandville area of Baton Rouge. Shot missed, and Burks with it down to Elmore. And, well, we had a little collision over here as Eddie Reese came flying into the broadcast location.
And somehow they called an offensive foul on John Elmore.
Here you
Elmore
go, Coach.
looked like he went strong to the basket. They called him. Oh, boy, that's awful close to the restricted area.
So Elmore with his first foul of the game. Marshall with 2, and Marshall gets the turnover. C.J. Burks, Penava on the move. Throwing it out into the front court and throwing it away. Chris Thomas scoops it up and dribbling through traffic and trying to get something to happen there was LaQuinton Collins. But he does draw contact.
Southern has 6 turnovers in the first 4 minutes and 39 seconds of play so far.
Jared West was whistled for the foul, so it's his first. And Marshall with 3 team fouls. LaQuinton Collins missing his first free throw of the season, did not hit a free throw in the loss to Illinois. Jags were 15 of 23 at the line in that loss to the Fighting Illini, and Collins will knock down the second, so it's a 16-6 lead for Marshall. New player into the game for the Jaguars, number 14, Aaron Ray out of Middleton, New York. And driving and scoring, number 14 for the Herd, C.J. Burks with a double, and then a steal. West lays it in.
Herd, great pressure defense. The last offensive play for Marshall, John Elmore was being denied the ball, so he picked for the defender. He ended up picking both players, and Burks had a great drive to the basket.
Boy, launching and connecting for the 3 is number 3, Eddie Reese. Out of Detroit, the young man we talked about. Reese with his second 3 of the season. Elmore up to Mijovic. We have a foul called.
There's an offensive foul on Elmore on the pass. See, Elmore turns the corner. Boy, that's a tough one on a guy averaging 38 points a game, picking up his second foul this early in the contest.
Team foul number 4, Darius George, number 21, will check in for Marshall. Freshman out of Staunton, Virginia. Ray into the front court for Southern. Shoots it back out to Reese, who just knocked down the big 3-pointer.
Let's mark that. The Herd's up 11 when Elmore leaves the game.
And Morris Scott is the head coach, and nice turnaround shot there on the baseline. Wouldn't go, but the rebound by Emmanuel Shepard is up and in. Sam missed, but Shepard was there. 20-9 is our score.
Southern doing a good job on the offensive boards.
Jared West couldn't get it to fall and lands into the hands of Eddie Reese. And Morris Scott replacing Roman Banks as the head coach. Banks now the athletic director. And they had some good teams there with Coach Banks. Made it to the NCAA tournament a couple of times. Darius George. We got a couple of freshmen on the court now, a couple of juniors and a senior. And Darius George from the corner. Shot a little too strong. Aaron Ray. And Ray just gets that loose ball off the miss and takes it coast-to-coast, Bob.
Yeah, it was a great move. Strong down the lane. That's a 4-0 run for Southern since John Elmore's been out of the game. Great look by Burks, but boy, great hustle play by Eddie Reese. Looked like Mijovic had a wide open dunk, and Eddie Reese snuck in from the backside and tapped the ball loose.
So Phil Bledsoe going to check into the game for the Herd.
The Herd needs to find C.J. Burks on this possession. He's 3 for 3 threes, and he hasn't got a look here in a few minutes.
Richard Lee, who wears number 0 in the game, so it's a nice pass from C.J. Burks to George, but the shot won't drop, and here is Lee, who just checked into the game, and Lee drains a 3-pointer.
It's a 10-0 run for Southern. 7-0 since Elmore left the game.
Bill Bledsoe played a nice game the other night in that win, and Bledsoe hits a three-pointer. He had 4 points, 2 of 3 from the field, and boy, just a nice soft touch for the youngster out of Wheeling, West Virginia.
Everybody Marshall recruits has the ability to shoot the three-point shot.
Shot no good by Aaron Ray. Ball out of bounds.
Marshall had been scoreless for 2 minutes before that last three. You take a 2-minute drought, and they've still scored 23 points the first 8 minutes of the game. That's putting it in the basket, Mark.
Morris Scott using that bench here early on. Torrey Mayo, 5'8" junior, has checked in, number 13. Another miss by the Herd, and snagging the rebound was Aaron Ray. Jared Sam, and they get it out to Torrey Mayo. Mayo did not score in the game against Illinois. They struggled offensively, just 55 points. Trying to keep pace with Marshall here. Sam in trouble, gets it out, launching the shot, no good by Lee, who had that three-pointer from the corner. Jared West across the timeline to Bledsoe. Well, Bledsoe knocked down one a moment ago. Had a good look, but this one won't drop.
Southern does a good job after they slow the ball down, looking to get the ball to Sam inside. They had a re-pick from a guard position last possession, got him the ball in the low block and drew the double team.
Johnny Colyanin getting set to check in for Marshall. Bledsoe goes high to get the rebound off a miss by Shepard. Penava wants to drive, and Penava going to be fouled on the way to the basket by Shepard, and we'll break away here. Marshall up by 7 on Southern as we get close to that halfway point of this first half here on Herd Vision.
Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield West Virginia, proud to sponsor the Herd. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield West Virginia is the state's largest private health insurer, and they're number one because they're committed to West Virginians' coverage for my needs, my life, and my blue. Kids Club being presented by Wendy's. Welcome to all Kids Club members to tonight's game. There's still time to join the Kids Club presented by Wendy's. Visit herdzone.com/Kids Club for more information. Kids Club's members receive special access to athletic events, members only meal deals at Wendy's. That's Kids Clubs presented by Wendy's.
Get a good look from high above the Cam Henderson Center. Marshall on top of Southern, 23-16. What's jumped out at you so far, Bob Baldwin?
Well, Marshall, since Elmore's went out, they had hit their last 5 field goals when Elmore was in the game. Since he picked up his second foul, Marshall's 1 for 7.
So the Herd going with West, George, Bledsoe, Colyanin, and Burks. C.J. Burks has been on fire in this game. He's got 3 3-pointers and 11 overall. Misses there. Here come the Jags driving. Mayo, ball slapped out of his hands by West, but they get it back.
Watch Southern looking for something going inside to Sam.
Now the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and the shot no good by Lee. So Lee knocked down his first 3 when he entered the game, but he's missed 2 since.
Southern's doing a great job of picking for Sam and then re-picking. And if Marshall collapses in, they're going to shoot the 3-pointer.
West across the 10-second line, gets it to Colyanin. Christian Thieneman has checked into the game, number 0 for the Thundering Herd. So each team with a guy with 0 on the jersey, and they're both in the game right now. And Burks can't get it to drop. Nice blocking out there by Sam, and here comes the Jags. Driving, putting up the shot, no good, is Aaron Ray. And again, Southern can't capitalize off the miss by Marshall. Burks to Cole Yannon. Nice, beautiful left-hand touch by Johnny Colyannon.
Great shot, had his feet set. Good follow through by Johnny.
Marshall with 5 3-pointers, but a slam by Shepard there, who now has 4. 26-18, Thundering Herd.
That was all started by the penetration by Mayo, drew the help and freed up Southern for the dunk.
Colyannon feeling it, missing from the corner. Sam will hand it to Torrey Mayo, and they'll slow it down a little bit. Shepard out to Mayo. From the corner, and it's going to be Ray hitting the three-pointer. Ray with 5 in the game. He had 4 in the loss to Illinois, and so Southern draws within 5.
Great ball movement by Southern, open shot. Southern's on a roll here and has 4 players sitting at the scores table. Well, that's hard for a lot of coaches to do, sub guys out when they're on a great roll.
Christian Thieneman strong to the bucket. Bledsoe trying to keep it alive. Mayo. Hands to Ray. Now they go to Sam. He'll work against Bledsoe. Bledsoe does a nice job denying.
Good job by Bledsoe moving his feet and holding his ground.
Jared West pulls up. Shot won't drop. Mayo with the rebound.
Coach D'Antoni has to be thinking about putting Elmore back in the game with 2 fouls. The Herds had trouble scoring since he's been out of the game. They're 1 for their last 8 attempts.
Mijovic is getting set to check back in for the Thundering Herd. Southern trying to chisel away at this 5-point lead at the moment for Marshall and forcing up the shot. Good job there by Lee. And we've got a foul called, and we've got a timeout called.
Lee with a great pump fake. Got Colyannon in the air, drew the foul, and almost drew the 3-point play.
Breakaway here. Marshall up by 5 over the Jags from Southern here on Herd Vision.
Let's give it a round of applause for looking at the Marshall Thundering Herd basketball. Right now it's time for Marco's Great Night Sleep giveaway. One lucky Herd fan about to win a luxurious Tempur-Pedic pillow from the area's #1 sleep provider, Mattress Warehouse, valued at $100. A Tempur-Pedic pillow is a great addition to your sleep environment. Marco's Great Sleep giveaway being brought to you by Mattress Warehouse, official sleep provider for the Thundering Herd. Returning to the Thundering Herd with 50 Milovich, the Jaguars, Benson, Smith, Thomas, and Reese.
We welcome you back live inside the Cam Henderson Center. Marshall and Southern. 5-point lead for Marshall. Marshall, one of his last day at a 2-14 drought. Southern just 2 of its last 10. And the bench much better in this game than it was against UT Martin early on.
Oh,
Bob.
yeah, Marshall has 6 points right now off the bench and did not get their first field goal against UT Southern until the 10-minute mark of the game. So much better this game.
All right, so Southern made some changes. They've got Richard Lee in the game. He's at the free throw line, number 0. Number 3 is Eddie Reese. Number 10, Jamar Sandifer has checked in, guy out of Dallas, Texas. And also they have checked back in Patrick Smith and Shaquille Benson out of New Orleans getting his first action here, number 22. So it's a 26-22 game here. Marshall now with the basketball.
C.J. Burks had 11 quick points for Marshall. He's been quiet here the last few minutes.
Jared West in trouble, loses it. Reese picks it up. Reese will take it in and score. Reese with 5 in the game. It's a 2-point advantage for the Herd. Southern coming back again.
Great defense by Reese. Quick hands. Got ahead of the pack for a nice layup.
Jared West zips it to Thieneman. He's wide open. His shot hits the back of the iron. Thieneman just about got it back into the hands of the Herd. So Southern chance here to tie it up, possibly take the lead. They have a couple of threes in the basketball game, and number 3 puts up the shot. Reese can't get it to go. Thieneman with the rebound. Burks running the show for Marshall. Koyanen to Burks. Burks tries to split 2 defenders. Ball is loose and a tie up, and possession arrow will go in the direction of the Jags.
Marshall just has not looked good offensively since Elmore left the game. And he's such a big part of what they do, and he creates so much attention from the defensive side of the ball from the other team that it opens up other people.
Well, he's going to go back in now, Bob. I think they heard you talking. So Elmore will head back in at the next stoppage of play. Jansen Williams is checked in, number 3 for the Herd, and Koyanen is out. He was a good-looking, strong kid, redshirt freshman. So Southern with another opportunity here, Coach.
Yeah, Southern being very patient with the ball, trying to get it inside, and if they can't, they'll go 1-on-1 or take the 3.
Sandifer, his shot won't go through. Getting his hands on it was Shaquille Benson. And how about Mijovich? Puts up the 3. Pretty good
They all
look.
have the green light. They have the green
Yep.
light. Didn't look that bad.
We're going to have a foul, and that's going to go against the offense. Benson, he whistled for the foul.
Posting up, pushing off while the ball was still on the other side of half court. There's no sense in that foul for Southern.
Now Marshall looking for a bucket. It's been a while. Penova. He's banged. They'll go against Patrick Smith.
You see a veteran like Elmore getting that shot off after the foul just because he's been setting a while and wanted to feel the ball leave his hand.
Elmore to Mijovich. Williams. And it finally goes.
Great hustle by Williams inside. Good, strong, powerful move.
Williams played 4 minutes against UT Martin, and from the outside, missing the shot is Reese Elmore. Strolls across the timeline. Wants to penetrate. Spinning around, and steps called there. Eight, 6 in turnovers right now.
Southern had 5 the first 2 minutes of the game, and since then they've settled down. Marshall able to set up their press this time. I'll tell you what, Reese looks like he can get his shot off anytime he wants. Very quick, long arm, good point guard.
Marshall holding on to a 4-point lead here. Driving, shot won't go. Shepard is going to be fouled.
Coach D'Antoni upset with that play. Marshall played good defense, and then right at the end, they both come down hard on the foul. I mean, they had him taking a hard shot over 2 6'8", 6'9" guys, and Williams came down with the foul.
Well, Marshall started 4 of 5 from the three-point line, 2 of 10 since. Mijovic picking up his second foul, and shooter's roll there for Shepard. Shepard now with 5 in the game. His first free throw of the season.
Entering the game. Herd's been quiet here for a little bit of scoring. Ott, a great three-point shooter. Let's see if he can bring some spark to the Herd offense.
Yeah, he replaces Mijovic, so Shepard's second would not go. Marshall up by 3. John Elmore to Iodine Penova. Thieneman open, got it.
This is a good lineup for Marshall offensively. All 5 can touch the ball outside the perimeter. All 5 can shoot the 3. Now they have to defend on this end, but that's a really good offensive team for the Herd on the floor.
Christian Thieneman did not see action the other night, so good to see him get in, hit a shot, and knocking down. The shot is Sam, and he's fouled.
Jared Sam able to do it inside, step outside. That's Coach D'Antoni's pet peeve, fouling the jump shooter.
All right, timeout on the floor as Sam and Southern will talk as they get within 4 and Sam to the free throw line when we return to the Cam Henderson Center on Herd Vision.
$2 for every free throw. Herd attempts this year. At the end of the season, United Bank will donate the proceeds to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Huntington. We want to thank the folks at United Bank for their continued support of the Thundering Herd and the Boys and Girls Club of Huntington. Right now it's time for the Simmons Adams Orthodontic T-shirt cannon. Get on your feet, Herd fans. Make yourself small. Don't get knocked over by the cannon. It's Simmons Adams Orthodontics T-shirt cannon. Transforming smiles one patient at a time.
So Jared Sam will try to draw Southern within 3 here. Make that 4 at 31-27, and now it's a 31-28 game. So now a 3-point contest. Marshall was up at one point in this game by 14, Bob.
Oh, yes, the first. Marshall had 20. Ott Elmore. When you get Ott going here with the rest of these shooters, that's a good sign, seeing him get a nice 3 off and see the ball go through the basket.
On the other end, Southern will answer as Thomas gets his first bucket of the game.
Got him again.
9 different players have scored for the Herd, and Ott Elmore launching and connecting.
Ott Elmore is a big-time shooter. Come in, very limited minutes, cold off the bench, and hit 2 threes. One of them, he shot from over there by the dorms. Great three-pointer.
Ott played 4 minutes the other night in the win against UT Martin. Sam on the baseline, guarded by Penava. Out it goes to Ray, and getting off the shot. You heard the horn. Chris Thomas missed the shot.
Marshall scored 20 points the first 5 minutes of the game. Then they scored 11 the next 11 minutes. Now they are on another roll. They've scored 6 quick points.
John Elmore driving and drawing the foul.
And that's what that does. Ott, his brother, coming in here, hitting a couple of deep threes, spreads the defense out, and then John's able to get to the basket. Early in the game, it was C.J. Burks spreading the defense out, and John was able to get to the basket.
But John Elmore now with 3 points in the game and all at the free throw line. Again, 2 quick fouls put him on the bench early.
And he's a veteran player. He knows he doesn't need to pick up that third foul this last 2:28. Coach D'Antoni, the game got close. It got down to a 2-point game. Had to go back with him, which I think was a really smart move, getting Elmore back in the game. Southern was getting too confident with the basketball.
Jared Sam into the hands of Thomas, and now back to Eddie Reese.
Marshall may need the help here.
Reese with one of the 2 threes in this first half for Southern. Sam back out to Ray. Now they swing it around to Reese. Reese, beautiful shot by Reese. He's got 2 threes in the game, 8. And it's a 39-33 lead for Marshall, but a nice pass to Penava from Elmore for the bucket.
Great roll by Penava. Southern defended it pretty well. It was just a perfect play.
Penava has 5 in the game, and here's a shot put up by Sam and rejected by Penava.
Richard Lee had Sam wide open there. Should have gave up the ball. That gave Marshall time to get back on defense and block the rebound. Right here, Sam's wide open on the left block, and we get 2 block shots in a row.
Second block of the game.
Block.
And how about Penava? And then Penava is going to be fouled by Reese. So Reese with his first, and that is team foul number 7.
Great job. Ott Elmore trying to strip the ball. Penava coming across the lane. Nice clean block. Gets 2 free throws rewarded on the other end. I'm sorry, 1 and 1. Mark misses the first.
Seven-point game here, 8-point game, and 41-33. Reese and Aaron Ray going to be called for the travel.
It's a point of emphasis this year with the referees. They're looking for that pivot foot. Obviously, he drug the pivot foot before the ball hit the ground, traveling violation.
John Elmore into the front court for Marshall. Picked up there by Lee. Burks goes to work and uses the glass nicely. C.J. Burks has been impressive here in the first half and now has 13 points.
Set play by Coach D'Antoni. Got Burks the ball at the elbow, had all these 3-point shooters. That's 2 times that Penava's fouled the jump shooter, and Coach D'Antoni is really upset with that. Fouled the 3-point shooter, and great shot by Eddie Reese. He has to go straight up there. The shooter has the right to land. Penava was in his area when he landed. Obvious foul. Coach D'Antoni's not upset with the officials. He's upset with Penava. He needs him in the game right now, and he just committed a uncalled for foul.
Reese playing a really good all-around game here for the Jags.
Has 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Called that early in the game. He just looks like a ball player. Quick, tough, good 3-point shot. Again, they have to honor the three-point shooting for the Herd. That's going to open it up for Burks.
Yeah, nice
Great
little
job.
give and go there with Mijovic.
Oh, great job by Burks. Now, with Mijovic in the game, his man can help some. But still a great shooting lineup in there has opened the floor and got Marshall back on track offensively.
8-point cushion for Marshall. Southern with the basketball, looking for the last shot before the
May wanna
teams head
double
to
team
the locker
Reese.
room.
Boy,
Reese
great play
kicks it
by
out.
Reese.
Lee hits the three. Lee has 2 in this half, and that makes it a 5-point Marshall lead at the break. 45-40, Monday Night Basketball inside the Cam Henderson Center, and Marshall on top of the visitors from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You're watching Marshall basketball on Herd Vision.
Pepsi at the game, a worker at home. Nothing beats a cool, refreshing Pepsi. Proud to be the official soft drink of the Thundering Herd. Pepsi says we are Marshall. All right, right now it's time to race remote cars. It's time for the Dutch Miller Auto Group remote car race. We'll be racing with controlled cars from the Dutch Miller Auto Group down the court, all around the cones and back to the baseline, competing for the Marshall prize pack. If you guys are ready, can I see the ready sign? Get ready, get set, and go. All right, looks like the way I drive. Make the turn. I'll hit him. So close, yet so far away. We got die-hard batteries in these. And it looks like it should be the green. Gets back first. We want to thank the folks at Dutch Miller Auto Group, proud sponsor of Thundering Athletics, the home of friends and family pricing for everyone. You can get pre-approved today at DutchMillerAuto.com. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for an amazing halftime show? All right, here we go. Please welcome Tyler's amazing balancing act. He has been seen nationally on Regis and Kelly, America's Got Talent, and halftime shows all across the country. Take out your cameras. Take out your smartphones right now, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to want to miss any of it. And please welcome to the court right now, Tyler's amazing balancing act. Y'all ready for this? next, was it? No. I mean, that looks heavy, Tyler. That looks really heavy. No, come on, Tyler. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, get back in there. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for this man. He needs your help right now. Come on, Tyler. You got it.
Scholarship Foundation. Give today as our Marshall student athletes look toward the future. Visit mubiggreen.com or call 304-696-4661 to donate. We are Marshall.
Fat Patty's the official home of the Dan D'Antoni radio show. Make sure you join us live 7 o'clock on Tuesday, November the 14th at Fat Patty's next to Henderson Center right here on 3rd Avenue. The first Dan D'Antoni radio show of the year. Coming up tomorrow night.
Back in the Henderson Center, Marshall on top of Southern 45-40. How about Ott Elmore coming into the game, Bob Boland?
Marshall was very stagnant offensively. Ott came in, gave him a couple big three-point shots, and then they spread the floor for Burks to get all the way to the basket. Then right at the end of the half, again, the penetration by Southern and hitting the open three-pointers. Again, Burks had a big first half.
Leading the way for Southern was Eddie Reese with 12, and again Burks with 15. The only double-figure scores in the game. Marshall got 17 points in the game off turnovers, Bob, and here they go with the alley-oop to get it going, but they miss. Southern can claw into that lead.
Yes, they can, and if you compare scores, Southern lost to Illinois by 50, and Tennessee Martin lost to Illinois by 3. And we beat Marshall beat Tennessee Martin by 11 the other night.
Marshall plays that, yeah, good stuff there. Marshall will be at Moorhead on Thursday and will play Illinois this weekend. Driving and scoring there is LaQuinton Collins. Collins' first field goal of the game, so he's got 3 in the contest. Marshall empty-handed there offensively, and here come the Jags. Marshall goes with West, Burks, Penova, Elmore, and Miovic. Patrick Smith has it for the Jags. Quentin Collins in the game. Eddie Reese in the contest to start it out here in this second half, along with Jared Sam, number 12, and number 4, Chris Thomas and Jared West. Going to have a whistle against the Jags. I think we have 3 seconds.
Carrying the ball.
Carry. Okay.
Overhanded. And Southern asleep on defense.
West
open
misfires.
From the corner, misfires.
Eddie Reese.
That's been the spark plug for Southern. To go along with his 13 points, he had 4 assists also.
And Reese ready to gun it. Ball goes out of bounds. Marshall has it. And a 3-point lead. Burks trying to cross-court pass to West. Deflected. Reese. And gets it down to Sam. Sam draws contact.
Very close to Penova picking up his 3rd foul, which would have really hurt the Herd. Marshall just so sloppy to start the second half. 2 quick turnovers after ending the first half 7 of 7 from the field.
So it'll actually be Chris Thomas who will go to the line here. So Miovic checks out with 3 fouls now. And Bledsoe is in for Miovic. Thomas couldn't get either of the free throws to drop, and Elmore drives on the other end and draws the foul.
John 4 for 4 from the free throw line in the first half. Hasn't got a field goal to go yet, but a strong move to the basket. Left to right crossover that he likes a lot, draws the foul, gets it up to the basket so he can get 2 free ones.
Thomas with the foul. He has 2 now, and Elmore a perfect 5 of 5 at the line. 13 of 14 in the win over UT Martin, in which he scored a career-high 38 points. So Marshall up by 5 after 2 made free throws by John Elmore. Sam gets it to Smith. Looking for Reese. Moving on the baseline is LaQuinton Collins. His shot wouldn't drop, and Thomas there for the stick back, and he couldn't get it to fall. Penova working. Wheeled around Sam.
That's both ways. 2 little easy ones, one for Southern, one for Marshall. Both shots rimmed out.
Patrick Smith guarded by Bledsoe. Nice pass down low to Sam. Sam maneuvers, but it wouldn't drop. Burks ahead to Elmore. Elmore lays it in and draws the foul.
John Elmore so smart attacking the basket when the defenders' heels are in the restricted area. And late getting there also. John Elmore doing a good job of getting to the basket. On the other end, Southern's running a little rub-off play off of Sam's on the low post that Gary Williams made famous at Maryland when he used to really get the ball inside a lot.
3-point play by John Elmore. So Elmore with 7. Jared West picking up his second foul. Team foul number 2 on Marshall. And here comes Phil Bledsoe. Oh, we've had 2 guys here in this game crash into our broadcast location here. Eddie Reese in the first half, and now Bledsoe.
I think somebody's wanting to sit on your lap tonight, Mark.
Reese a little closer to me than Bledsoe was there. He was down to my left. Marshall by 8. Southern trying to hang around. LaQuinton Collins bouncing it to Thomas. Sam into the paint. Lifts it up and draws the foul.
That's Southern's first look every time down the court is to run some type of movement or a pick to get Sam the ball in the paint. And if Marshall's not going to double team, Sam is just going to try to go to work every possession.
Phil Bledsoe's first foul, team foul number 3 on the Herd. Sam at the line. Jared Sam now with 9 in the game. And coming off a 21-point performance against Illinois in the season opener. They lose to the Fighting Illini 102-55. So Marshall scored 102 in its opener, and Southern watched the opposition score 102. But
Sam and Reese have half of the points for the Jaguars.
Phil Bledsoe to John Elmore. Elmore, who sat out a lot of that first half.
Wow. What a
Terrific
reverse. Hanging in the air, opposite hand, flip over the shoulder. Great move by Elmore.
Elmore in double figures now. Double-double away from a Conference USA, tying a Conference USA record with 9 and up, and getting it to go, Jared Sam. Sam's got 12 in the game. Marshall with that 6-point lead. Bledsoe's shot wouldn't go. Patrick Smith pulls down the rebound.
Again, look for Southern to try to get something off a ball pick from Sam.
Eddie Reese down low. Up in traffic is Thomas and kept fighting to get that bucket, just wouldn't drop. West to Elmore. John Elmore just wheels around the opposition, and Elmore with 3 field goals here early on in the second half.
That's why he's the best player in Conference USA. He can shoot the 3, he gets to the basket, he hangs in there, he draws fouls. He does everything you want him to do on the offensive end.
Reese, who's not a bad offensive player himself.
Reese can play. Pass it, shoot it. Boy, he's had a great game this evening. He's 4 for 7 threes right now.
Yeah, smooth lefty. How about C.J. Burks? Underneath with 17 now in the contest.
C.J. Burks, another one. Shoots the 3 well, drives to the hole. Just a strong all-around basketball player.
7-point edge for the Herd at 56-49. Well, Coach Bob Bolin, our great crew, I'm Mark Martin. Delighted to have you with us here on Herd Vision. Monday evening basketball at the Cam Henderson Center. Marshall's second game in this 2017-18 season. I think Penova got a piece of that, and Marshall comes away with it.
He did. Sam was getting awful comfortable with those post moves, and Penova rejected that one. Wow.
John Elmore to Penova.
John Elmore is having a tremendous second half. Scoring, assists, tremendous.
Players like him, they sit. It's like that's punishment in a big-time way. You got those 2 early fouls, so second half strong so far. Penova now was 7 in the game. On the dunk, Reese again. Can't get this one to drop. Reese comes up with that loose ball after he missed the shot. Gets it down low to Thomas, and he can't get it to fall, but a foul is called.
There's Elmore, John Elmore again, attacking the basket, left to right crossover, one hand scoop past the Penova for the flush.
And Marshall in the lead at 58-49. Back to the Henderson Center in a moment. Big time paint advantage for Marshall here in this game.
I'll tell you what, the last play there, you see Jared West come out of the timeout, look at Penova and say, my fault. The last long rebound, Jared West does a lot of good things for Marshall, loose balls. The last rebound, he slipped out. His man got the rebound. It should have been his. Caused Penova to get his 3rd foul.
Marshall with a 24-12 edge in the paint. It's a 58-50 game here in favor of the Thundering Herd against Southern University. Game 2 of the season for Marshall, game 2 of the season for Southern. Bill Bledsoe, Ideen Penova, C.J. Burks, John Elmore, and Jared West in the game. And Burks lost control of the basketball and the possession arrow. Second time tonight that it has gone in the direction of Southern. Southern right now with Lee in the game, number 0. He came in and scored 7 points off the bench, saving Manuel Shepard, number 2. Also in the game, Torrey Mayo, number 13. Aaron Ray at number 14. And they're joined by Jared Sam. And Sam is the lone starter on the floor right now, I believe.
Well, and Marshall with an advantage with Reese out of the game. Right now, Reese and Sam have 29 points for Southern, and Burks and Elmore have 30.
Bill Bledsoe puts it through. He's got 5. Sam over into the corner, and the shot rattling around, it wouldn't drop for Lee.
Good job on the boards by Bledsoe.
Ideen Pinova open in the corner, and that one brought some rain, I think, Coach.
Mark, he can shoot it. He likes it from the top of the key. Now he goes out to the corner. He's such a poised player. Never any emotion, always stays the same, even keel. Solid shooter, big time shooter.
Yeah, second 3 of the game.
His threes are always at the opportune time.
He has 10. Marshall with a 9-point edge. Williams in the game for the Herd. Bledsoe yanks down the rebound. John Elmore. They're not going to stop that.
No, he's going to the basket strong. And Reese has been out too long for the Jags. I mean, he was keeping them going, and now they're going to use a timeout to get Reese back in the game.
8 points from the field here in the second half by Elmore. 65-52 our score, a 13-point advantage. Marshall a 7-0 run, 107 off the clock, and at 12:03, Marshall by 13 here on Herd Vision. Thirteen-point lead for Marshall, and that is the biggest lead of the game since they were up by 14 at the 15:04 mark in the first half.
C.J. Burks for the Herd, leading them in scoring, rebounding, and assists.
And here is Lee rifling yet another three-pointer. Lee has 10 in the game, Coach, and 9 of those have come from long range.
They needed that 3. Marshall is extending the lead. Big shot for Southern.
John Elmore wants to unleash a 3. Can't get this one to drop from the top of the key, and Sam with the rebound. Reese is back in. Shepard, Reese guns it. A little too strong, but Lee is grabbed by Williams. Jansen Williams picks up his first foul, and that is team foul number 5. Timeout. Marshall will talk it over, and we'll return to the Henderson Center. Marshall by 10.
It's time, the hometown sportswear T-shirt toss. T-shirts, it's what we do and other stuff too. Hometown sportswear is your home for Hurt Gear. Make some noise when you sell a free T-shirt. Compliments of hometown sportswear.
C.J. Burks, Phil Bledsoe, John Elmore, Jansen Williams, and Ideen Penova in the game for Marshall as we come out of the timeout. Marshall up by 10 at 65-55.
They're going to make sure Sam gets a touch on this possession.
Reese, let's go, and
Sam
connect.
and Reese. I tell you what, Reese and Sam have dominated the game for Southern, and Elmore and Burks and Penova for the Herd again.
Reese has 18 in the game. 7-point Marshall lead. Marshall 102 the other night against UT Martin as Burks drives and uses the glass. Burks with 19. That was the 7th game under Dan D'Antoni here at Marshall that the Thundering Herd eclipsed the century mark.
Burks was working on that shot and warm up. Marshall's players are out there with Coach Jackson. They all work on the runners, and it paid off right there for Burks.
Cornelius Jackson, former West Virginia High School Player of the Year and a standout here at Marshall. New assistant coach for Coach D'Antoni. Good play there by Reese defensively into the hands of Lee. Three-pointer rims out. Up with a shot, Ray, and he couldn't get it to fall. Penova comes away with it. Elmore used the big body of Penova nicely to drive and score, but he just couldn't get it to fall, but he is fouled.
After the first game, John Elmore is leading the country in scoring, averaging 38 a game. And we have another one for Marshall. Ideen Penova, again, Elmore going to the basket, drawing the contact, trying to put it in. Ideen Penova right now, 4 for 4 on the year three-pointers, Mark. Got to get a few more shots up.
Yeah, John Elmore, meanwhile, 8 for 8 at the free throw line here in the game. So Roy will check out. Shepard will check out. And back in for Southern, number 21, Patrick Smith. And also in is Jamar Sandifer. Marshall by 11. Sandifer. Gets it back over to Reese. And Southern University out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Great school. Known for their marching band called the Human Jukebox. And how about Reese on his back put up a shot?
That's one of the few bad plays by Reese in the entire game.
It
Trying to draw the foul, taking an off-balance jumper.
It will be Marshall's basketball as they try to add to the 11-point lead.
And no contact on the play. Reese just trying to draw the foul, and then two players going after it hard on the Alabama play.
Patrick Smith and Penova. Elmore. Williams. Ott Elmore back in the game. Ott was stroking it in the first half for Marshall. John Elmore on the move. And he will head back to the free throw line. Nope. Check that. He will trigger it in instead. Fouls on Sandifer. Sam gets the rebound.
8:45 to go. Jaguars just hanging in there. 11-point game. Just a solid performance by both teams.
Reese out front. Picked up there by Jansen Williams. Smith wants to move around Penova. And boy, what a nice, strong rebound by Bledsoe. Southern has missed its last 5. Penova. To Ott Elmore. Bledsoe. He's open. And he makes it.
It's a good offensive team Marshall has on the court right now. They have to crash the boards. There's a big rebound by Bledsoe last possession. All 5 need to crash the boards with this lineup in the game.
13-point advantage for the Herd. Bledsoe now with 7. 4 of those coming here in the second half. Knocked down a 3-pointer in the first half. From the corner, and the 3 is good. Can't say enough about Lee in this game.
Lee has a quick release. You can tell that's his specialty, 3-point shooting. Great lob.
John Elmore and Penova go to work.
Marshall offensively just watches the defense's head. If they turn their head the wrong way, it's going to be a lob. If they turn their head the right way and people help on the lob, it's going to be a 3.
Reese to Smith. Shot clock at 7. Sam wants to work against Penova. Dean Penova thought he had a block. Instead, it's his 3rd foul, 4th foul, and timeout called. Marshall by 12 over Southern.
I was worried with my last car deal, and my wallet was pretty dinged up. So I called the firm of Dutch, Miller, and Kia, and they got me the deal I deserved.
For a limited time, get a free 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on select brand new 2016 model Kias. Call Dutch Miller and Kia today. Big Green Scholarship Foundation. Give today as our Marshall student athletes let their toward the future. Visit mubiggreen.com or call 304-696-4661 to donate. We are Marshall.
Thunder Herd Athletics wants to wish a very special happy birthday to one Christian Rosenberg. Happy birthday, Christian.
Dan D'Antoni loves the pep band here at Marshall, and after each game, the Thundering Herd coaching staff, players, they go over and...
Well, Mark, I know it's early in the season. The referee blew that call. He blocked the ball with his elbow. and that's Penava's 4th foul. Can be a 10-point game now. Penava's 12 for 14 field goals on the season.
Well, Sam got the first, Smith's the second, but Southern keeps the basketball. Ott Elmore, John Elmore, Phil Bledsoe, Johnny Cole Yannon, and Jansen Williams in the game for the Thundering Herd at the moment. For Southern, Emmanuel Shepard, Eddie Reese, who has the basketball out front, zips it to Lee, and Lee, who has really just come on here in this game. He's now got 15 in the contest, 17.
Nice step through move. He's hit the three, so the defense has to come out, play him tight, good step through, good head and shoulder fake.
Down to single digits now at 9. John Elmore thought about it, goes to Ott Elmore. And from the corner, and there is Williams. He will hit the three-pointer for Marshall.
Williams is very active around the boards, has a nice three-point stroke. The Herd needed that. The lead was down to single digits. Big-time three from Williams in the corner. 7
different players have a three-pointer in this game for Marshall, and one of those 7 is not John Elmore.
Wow, that's an interesting stat there. They can't leave him open.
Lee misses here. Marshall 11 of 23 from the three-point line. John Elmore to Ott Elmore. Nice release. And that's going to go off of the white team, the Thundering Herd. There is Ott Elmore, senior.
Eddie Reese has 5 threes, and Richard Lee has 4 threes for Southern. They're looking for those 2 from the three-point line and Sam from on the inside.
Driving to the basket and slamming it is Shepard. I mean, no doubt about that when he said, I'm taking it in and I'm slamming it through. It's a 10-point game. John Elmore on the other end.
2 amazing plays, one on the Southern end, one on the Herd end.
Back to a 12-point advantage. Marshall denies underneath. John Elmore will look to add to this 12-point advantage. Over to Williams, to Ott Elmore. Back to John, whipping around, and Bledsoe's shot wouldn't go. And we're going to have a foul, 8 blocks.
Don't be surprised about 11:30 tonight for Emmanuel Shepard's dunk to be on the dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That was a Sports Center highlight, I believe.
Well, we're going to go to the other end and shoot free throws. Shepard. Bledsoe heads out. Williams heads out. Burks is back in. Mijovic is back in. So Ott Elmore stays on the floor along with John Elmore, Penava, Mijovic, and Burks. Shepard at the line. Can't get it to drop. Penava goes high. Penava along with Elmore and Burks have combined for 50 points. Ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, John Elmore felt he was hit
and
on the
it'll be
elbow
Southern's
on that
basketball. Sandifer hands to Reese. Reese the bouncer to Sandifer and pokes it away as John Elmore. Sam. Nice shot by Sam.
Sam has a great mid-range game for a post player.
Sam with 15. John Elmore again penetrates. missed, but Penava was there for the stick back.
It's 13 for 15 on the year for Penava.
Penava with 14 in the contest, and Marshall with an 80-68 lead. Back in a moment here on Herd Vision.
And now it's time to Simmons Adams Orthodontics T-shirt cannon. Get on your feet. Herd fans win a T-shirt from Simmons Adams Orthodontics. Simmons Adams Orthodontics, transferring smiles one patient at a time. Tonight's HIG block counts winning 11. We want to thank the folks at HIG, the outstanding physicians, donating $50 every block shot in their fight against heart disease.
Welcome back to the Henderson Center. Well, if this was 3-on-3, this would be a pretty good game. It is a good game. Marshall up by 12, but Elmore, Burks, Penava, they've combined for 52. Lee, Reese, and Sam for Southern, they've combined for 50, Coach.
And then, but the rest of Marshall players have 28, where Southern only has 16.
All right, Southern trying to chisel away at this 12-point advantage as we near the 3-minute mark here in the basketball game. Marshall went to OT on Friday night against UT Martin. Sam, well, he tried to split Penava, and Mijovic lost control. John Elmore.
Going to run a little clock here with a 12-point lead.
C.J. Burks whips it over to Ott Elmore. And then Ott back to Burks. Burks lifts up the shot. Won't go. Rebound pulled away by Sandifer. Beautiful pass from Reese to Sam.
John Elmore with quick hands there. Thought he got the ball, but he did stop the dunk. He's going to make Sam go to the free throw line and earn it. Let's see if John's faking the official out. Hard to tell from there, but Sam had a good clear path to the basket.
And the shot is up by Sam. 16 now for Sam. Checking out is Lee. So you have Reese, Mayo, Sandifer, Sam, and Shepard in there for Southern. It's an 80-70 game. Marshall, meanwhile, with Penava, Burks, Mijovic, Ott Elmore, and John Elmore. Thundering Herd turning it over. Comes Southern, and Reese lost control. Turnover, Southern 12-11 in the turnover department. Southern with 12, Marshall with the 11. Penava will speed it across the timeline, then he will pull up for the three. Can't get it to drop. Burks keeps it alive. He shoots the three, misses. Penava's tip wouldn't go. Mijovic can't get it to drop through. Penava's first miss from three-point range this season. And now Southern trying to get it down to double digits, and they do. Sam scores. Sam.
Marshall went to end the game down there and took a couple quick threes where maybe they should have ran 30 seconds off of the clock.
Marshall by 8, 1:35 remaining. Back in a moment here on Herd Vision. Single-digit game, Bob Boland.
Again, Sam, mid-range jump shot. He's had it all night. Southern trying to force a turnover right now. Marshall needs to get the ball in John Elmore's hands.
That they do. He's picked up there by Torrey Mayo.
Without the 5-second closely guarded rule in college basketball now, Elmore can run that clock down by himself and draws the foul.
Now they'll whistle Shepard for it, and that would be 4 on Shepard.
Still, Southern has one more foul to give before Marshall's at the free throw line.
Marshall, one of its last 8. Of its last 4, and Jared West. Reese reaching around there, and
now that one doesn't send Marshall to the line, so look for Elmore to get the ball in his hands at this time.
All right, so Southern now with 16 fouls, 1:07 to go, and the Herd up 8. And then it goes to Elmore.
And he'll keep this ball the entire 30 seconds. He's either going to go to the line or run this whole 30 seconds out.
Shot clock at 5. Elmore to Mijovich, up with a shot, and it wouldn't go through. Southern on the offensive end, lifting up the shot. It wouldn't drop, but Sandifer is fouled. C.J. Burks whistled for the foul.
Well, Southern has a chance to cut this to 6 right here and look for Southern to make a quick foul. No matter who for Marshall has the ball, they may try to get one trap. If they don't get the steal, quick foul.
Sandifer out of Dallas, Texas, can't get the first to drop. 2 points in the game against Illinois. Missed.
That's a big miss for Sandifer. If he hits both of those, he can make it a 2-possession game.
It's his first free throw of the season, and can't get either one to drop. And that's batted away and out of bounds. Marshall will have the basketball with 40 seconds remaining. Dan D'Antoni, 40 seconds away from victory number 50 as the head coach of his alma mater, the great Hall of Famer, the great basketball family, and boy, how much fun has he brought to Thundering Herd basketball.
Oh, he has. They're a fun team to watch. They all can handle the ball outside the three-point line. They play hard, they play smart, they play together, and Marshall fans are in for a real treat this year.
Jared West gets the free throw to drop. He was 2 for 4 in the win the other night against UT Martin. Mayo heads out of the game. So Jared West with 5 points. Make it 6. Reese speeds it across the timeline to Shepard. Back to Sam. Sam at the free throw circle and launches and connects. Sam with 21, so he's had 21 in his first 2 games this season for Southern.
Very smart play by West. Although he just hit 2 free throws, He understands Elmore is the better free throw shooter, the best free throw shooter on the team. They got the ball inbounds quick. West went right back to Elmore to put him at the line.
Elmore 9 for 9 at the line. He's got 19 in the game. Make it 20. 83-74. Reese to Sam. Over into the corner, up with the shot, Lee. Had a good game here. Mijovich gets the loose ball to Penova. West. Over to Elmore. Elmore will hold it. And that will do it. John Elmore, big game, 20 points, no three-pointers, but Marshall a winner by a final of 83-74, and now they get set to head to Moorhead for the first road game of the season. So nice way to begin it with 2 home victories, Bob Olin.
Oh, Marshall to go 2-0 to start the season. Very entertaining basketball. Great crowd here at the Henderson Center. And the Herd is 2-0.
Of course, we got some big games coming up, and it all starts there on Thursday night. So Marshall is a winner here tonight. And just some final thoughts, Coach, on what you saw.
Well, Marshall shot 11 for 27 three-pointers. That's 40%. That's more like we're inclined to see them from the Herd. They handled the basketball well. Their big three came through. Elmore, Penova, and Burks. Ott Elmore came in, gave them some big threes. So just an all-around good effort for Marshall. Good team win.
All right, so Southern falls to 0-2, and Marshall improving to 2-0. Again, Marshall will play at Moorhead, then they got Illinois, then they're back here next Wednesday to take on North Carolina Central. Then they got Concord games with William & Mary, and then that will finish out the November stage of the season. Coach, enjoyed it. We'll see you here next week at the Henderson Center.
Looking forward to it, Mark.
All right, so for Coach Bob Olin, our great crew, this is Mark Martin. We thank you for joining us here on Herd Vision. Marshall, an 83-74 winner. Good night from Huntington.